Alright guys, I'm back today. We are at the OCS Championship. I wasn't here last week, so this is a first place local stake profile that Jack played last week. I wasn't here last week, so he's kindly decided to share this profile with me, and I'll let him take it away.
Yeah, so I played Drytron for locals last week. This deck's interesting, this meta game. It's technically bad versus cash because it loses to a Rise Heart, and you need outs for a Rise Heart. But if you can build to beat a Rise Heart, then you have a lot of pushing power, and you can break cash balls as long as you've gotten past your Rise Heart. And when you go first, there just aren't really enough hand traps in mains right now that stop you from just like locking your opponent and just winning the game on the spot. So yeah, I'll hop in if you want. So it's a 42 card main deck, a little bit above 40 just so you've got enough non-engines so you can consistently see an Rise Heart out. But I'll go through bit by bit. So we've got 3 alpha, one that adds the ritual monster. Zeta adds a ritual spell. 2 gammas, we cut gamma down to 2 because you need, it's not good unless you have another name, but you need a second just in case cash banishes one. And then Delta is the last name. Some people bump this up to 2. It's not that good on its own, so I do just like the 1 to like dump if you already have access to all your names. And then triple cyber emergency to search any of them. So this fairly standard name package. And then to go along with them, I play 2 Fafnir, 2 Nova, and 2 Meteonis. So previously I would have been playing 2-3, so that gives you 5, which is a mathematical number to draw exactly 1. But I needed to fit a second Meteonis in because if cash banishes it face down off the top of your deck, you cry. And I couldn't really find another engine cut for it, so I had to cut a Nova down to fit it in. I like having the second Fafnir over the third Nova, because this can grab either this or this, so you have the choice. And if you end on sort of like a Drytron board, if you can't get access to Ben 10, then this is an interruption. Also at the end of the combo, so I'm going for the Dynamond Chaos Max lock. At the end of the combo, if this is up, you can shuffle it back in with a Dynamond with a Ben 10, get an extra Ben 10 back in deck, which is another cool thing you can do. But that's it for the Drytron cards and the 1 Drytron ritual. So this is just in there for when you go second, and when you're like in a weird circumstance where somehow Ben 10 access is cut off. So if Alpha is ashed, you can still end on this plus maybe Fafnir, which is a spell negate if this is up. I did cut this from my main at one point, or I did cut it from the list at one point, but it's in there now because post side I take out all the Chaos Max stuff. So this is the only ritual I'm going for, so I can punch over the whole board and then put them low resources versus this. So that's why that's in there. Next is sort of like the ritual light theory package. So I'm playing triple Ben 10, triple preparation of rites, Ida 10. So Ida 10's probably the worst name, but you need this so that Alpha Zeta is full combo. I'll show you what the combo is in a bit when I get to it. Natasha, this is only good going second, but it's so good going second you have to play it. With time as well, so it has that going for it, but this card's incredible. Even though it is a brick going first, I personally wouldn't cut it. And then light fairy packets, I'm going for Choju, so I'm going for Choju to add both parts of the Herald Perfection and Dawn of the Herald. So previously you would play these with pre-preparation of rites, but pre-preparation of rites isn't a very good card because once you've used it once, it turns off. If you draw either part of this, pre-prep is dead. It's awful top deck in the grind, and also you have to draw it in addition to be able to play. Whereas if you just play these two and draw Choju, it becomes part of standard combo to tribute Choju over Ben 10, grab both parts of these, and then you have Ben 10 add Ben 10, which gives you all 3 parts of these. So summon this, trigger Ben 10 again, add the Ben 10 back from grave. You end up with a boatload of light fairies. You can use this to bolster up your board as well. That's that. Other light fairy targets are your Diviner, so this is more for going second than it is for going first. So you can just number this. This one doesn't require tribute, obviously, so you can send Sis and Herald if you need to play. And the last one is Herald of the Orange Light. So I'm not playing Lancia main deck in this build. Reason being is that if you combo, you win anyway. So I built the deck to be able to combo. Lancia is only really good against cash as well. There is a Lancia inside which is in there to help play versus D-Shifter, which I'll also show you in a bit as well. But the only main deck like hand trap fairy I was playing was a Herald. And this just comes up when you're going for game maybe on a turn 3 to like push through Nib, or it's like an extra negate. If you've only managed to Dynamo lock, you can have an extra negate on top. And last card is the Black Chaos, so this is what we're summoning back with Dynamondo, locking out the monster effects for the turn. So that's the engine. And then next is a bunch of non-engines. So I'm playing 3 Talents, 3 Book of Eclipse, and 3 Book of Moon. So the reason why I chose these non-engine over some other ones is that all of these are good both going first and second. So in this deck, because you contribute face down Drytrons and you contribute summon over face downs, these are pseudo Call by the Graves that help you push through like Veilers, push through Imperms, and of course Talents is Talents and helps you push through everything. In addition to that, all 9 of these out a Rise Heart going second. So if your cash opponent a Rise Heart passes you, or if they don't do the full 5 Spell Trap Zone lock, this it helps out the cash board so your engine can push through. That's why I chose those 9 specifically. So yeah, that's that. Extra deck. So extra deck is, I think, fairly standard. I'm on 2 Mu Beta. Sometimes I think about bumping this up to 3, but I think 2 is really good enough. Beatrice, Kikanagashi Fucko. So this card is sort of dual purpose in this deck. This card helps you make Zeus, and it's sort of better than other Zeus enablers like the lowest one right now, because your opponent has to respect you whenever you have 2 level 1s on board, because you could just slap them into this, it's unaffected. You can go Battle Punch into something that's in defense position, then slap Zeus over it. Whereas with the lowest one, if they have a Rise Heart life, they can just Rise Heart banish it face down, you lose 2 for the price of 1 really. That's why that's in there. The dual purpose part is against Shifter. If you are shifted and you draw Drytron names Ben 10, you can go Drytron name. I can actually show you that. Maybe a little bit easier to show you.
Yeah.
So let's pick 2 random Drytron names. Just for example, I won't even resolve them. But if you're shifted, you can go Drytron name, tribute the Ben 10, Ben 10 add Ben 10, Drytron name, tribute the Ben 10, and then this last Ben 10 adds Lancia, and then you can overlay these 2 for Kikanagashi Fucko, and then in your opponent's turn you can drop the Lancia, and then when you detach 2 to protect Fucko, these go into graves, they're not banished, and then if you're against Kashtira, obviously on the Lancia, they're most likely to be Kashtira if they're Lancia you. So they can't make a Rise Heart or anything easily, and then going back to your turn you have all your names in your graveyard and you're no longer into a Shifter. So that's why we're on this card specifically. Next is Down Magician. So when you have to use Fucko's effect, you need this to make it a 2-mat Zeus, or you can just slap this over Fafnir to make a 4-mat Zeus. So you're going to double Zeus because if you play 1 Kashtira, it takes it out of your extra deck, and then that succeeds. For the links, so I play Link Revo. The other option you can play in this slot is the Relinquished Anima. I like this one slightly more because I like having the down arrow by making like IP and stuff like that. That comes up more than Relinquish does for me, because good players tend to play around Relinquish, but realistically it's a minute difference between the 2 and you can probably play either one. I played double Dynamondo. The reason I played 2 is because you need 1 for the lock and 1 for the follow-up. So this card is new card up, Photon Hypernova. It is during your opponent's turn, you contribute it, target a ritual in your grave and either add it to your hand or special summon it. So if you get to the Chaos Max on combo, it locks them out once effectively turn by summoning Chaos Max. If you don't and you only get to Perfection, this adds back a fairy for Perfection, so you get an extra negate live. And then when you're breaking boards or when you're on the follow-up kill, this is Nightmare Unicorn by shuffling a Ben 10 back from your grave into the deck, or shuffling any ritual back from your deck. Which is why I mentioned as part of your end board, if you have like a Fafnir up or an extra monster, I end on Dynamondo and I use Dynamondo's effect to return a Ben 10 just to get a monster field and get this live. So yeah, that's that. Next is IP. This is just a generic link, so it helps for link climbing, but this also has a use as part of end boards. So some end boards where, again, you can't get to the chaos lock, you can end on this plus Herald, and you can Herald negate then use this to spin into Dynamondo. Dynamondo spin something else, and you can tag Dynamondo out to bring back the Herald, which comes up. Herald and Mirage, like, this doesn't come up too often in this build, but sometimes you just make this, go back phase, crash it, add 2 fairies back and combo after. Borrow Sword for killing your opponent. And an access code in a set specifically, because the Tasha take really nullifies the need for access code. And this gets exact game with Fafnir. This is 3k, 3k, 2k, so come on now. And then that's the links. And the last 2 cards in the extra deck are Herald of the Arclight and Intis as your 2 Diviner targets. Need to play this one, unfortunately, even though it doesn't come up too much, but it's how you get floodgates in this deck, so that ensues. So that's the extra deck. Then side deck, so there's a card I would have played in the side deck, which I didn't have access to, and still don't actually, I'm still waiting for it to arrive, and that's Volcanic Queen. And that is it's basically a kaiju that can't be normal summoned or set, so when you're against Cash, you have 3 more Rise Heart outs. But at the minute, I'm playing 3 Lava Golem, so this perhaps break the Cash board. As well as this 3 Lava Golem, I've got 3 Ash. So Ash is in there for Branded. So going second, you really have no game. This is the Gimmick Puppet lock. The only really consistent way to stop that is to Ash the Branded fusion, and then the Gimmick Puppet's never engrave. So like you can, like some people are experimenting with Bell to stop it. They should Bell as if they banish it, then Bell doesn't stop it. So Ash is really the only way to like properly stop that. And it also helps with sliding patterns versus control decks. So against control decks like Trap Tricks or Labyrinth, you don't want your like heavy board breakers. You want these to like Asher Welcome Labyrinth or something. So it comes in to help versus those. Double Link Karibo, this is for going second versus Kashtira, so you don't get Ibly locked. Triple Thrust, so this is probably what will come out for the Volcanic Queens. Maybe I might need to shuffle out around sliding patterns a bit anyway. But I play these alongside Double Evenly, and this gives you 8 cards versus your back row matchups at the minute, which means all of your books come out, and then 2 engine cards like an Ida 10 and Chaos Max comes out versus back row things, so you have 8 going in with that. And then the last card is Debarrier, so if you get shifted, you can go Thrust set Debarrier, and again, just live another turn versus Kashtira, though the Fucko land seal lock is a little bit more consistent than this. It's good to have another option because Debarrier, because Shifter can hurt you that much. And yeah, that's it. That's really the deck. Ben, is there anything else you want to ask that?
How did you find it?
It's good. It's definitely not a traditionally good deck. And it's sort of weird to play in a format where like a Rise Heart is so prevalent. But because it's so strong going first, if you win die roll, you normally win the match, which is a good thing to have. So if you can just sort of like work your side deck in a way that your game 2 ends up being a lot stronger versus Cash, I think it has a decent place on the meta game. But right now I'm still working it out, and it's getting there, but I think there's a lot of potential.
Alright, Jack.
All right.
Cheers, Jack.
No
Thank you
worries.
in the first place, as normal. When's the Dragon Link profile coming now?
When Striker Dragon goes to 2, so it doesn't get ripped out your extra.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Alright, Jack. Cheers, Jack.
Alright, take
Bye.
care, man.